Who doesn't love to play a game? Whether it be an action game on a gaming console or a classic board game like Monopoly, a card game like Rummy, a dice game like Yahtzee, a puzzle game like Sudoku, or even physical games like basketball or soccer, games have appealed to people of all ages and backgrounds and cover many different interests. The general appeal of games makes them especially useful in education. Game-based learning borrows certain gaming principles and applies them to real-life settings to engage users. Game-based learning makes education playful, dynamic, and most importantly, memorable. Just because a student is having fun doesn't mean the student isn't learning. Take a dice game like Yahtzee, for example. Playing it with friends or family can help students with mental math while adding the numbers 1 through 6. Beyond basic addition, the game involves higher-level critical thinking skills, decision-making, and problem-solving when a roll of the dice doesn't go the way a player hopes. Game-based learning also creates a sense of competition between students and adults. Who doesn't like to see their name at the top of a leaderboard or get a prize for their efforts? Students become motivated to learn the information and how to do something in order to score points and excel above everyone else. Game-based learning incorporates that healthy spirit of competition. It may be important to note another word that comes up when discussing gaming and education: gamification. What is the difference between game-based learning and gamification? They sound similar, don't they? While they are connected, the two words are not entirely interchangeable. Game-based learning focuses on the game itself to promote learning new information, enhancing an acquired skill, or changing a behavior. The activity itself is intrinsically game-like and can be presented digitally, or contain some digital components, or even be an entirely offline activity. An example of this would be creating Jeopardy-like game to review vocabulary or concepts where teams or individuals receive points corresponding to the category and amount chosen for correct answers, in which the more expensive clues contain more difficult information. This motivates students to learn the concepts in order to win. Gamification, on the other hand, refers to the use of game-like elements within conventional learning activities, as opposed to turning the activity into a game. While both game-based learning and gamification may be found in a traditional classroom and corporate environments, gamification is more easily implemented into corporate training. So what are some examples of gamification? Gamification may include things like point systems, leaderboards, badges, and other game-like elements that have been incorporated into conventional learning. One example from the music classroom is the activity Recorder Karate, where students earn a different colored belt as they complete skills on the recorder. Gamification doesn't even have to be part of training classes. We've all experienced it. Restaurants employ gamification a lot to award repeat customers with discounts. Starbucks awards patrons with stars that add up to free drinks, food, and even merchandise. It's a way to motivate people to spend money on their products, and according to my Starbucks account, it works. While it could be used in a foreign language classroom, the app Duolingo is another example of game-based learning that is widely used outside the classroom. Duolingo employs a variety of game-based strategies, including gaining XP, microlearning, which is a topic for a different Pecha Kucha, leaderboards, and keeping up learning streaks to promote friendly competition and motivate language learners. Why is game-based learning revolutionizing corporate training and education? According to Asha Pandey, the Chief Learning Strategist at L Design, game-based learning can encourage strategic and independent thinking, provide opportunity for practice and experimentation, enhance motivation among disengaged learners, promote healthy competition, and foster collaboration, among other things. Points and experience systems are one aspect of gamification in the classroom. Through points or XP, there's no end in sight. The sky is literally the limit for how many points the students can accumulate, motivating them to go as high as possible. Students may also be given flexibility to choose how they earn their points from a range of choices, which can give them autonomy in their learning. Badges are another aspect of gamification. From personal experience, I can say that students love to compare badges they've earned. Even something as small as a sticker that goes on the outside of a folder can be motivating and act as a badge. I use the math program Zern in my current position, where students receive badges for completing lessons. They're constantly asking each other what badges they have. In classrooms with technology available to individual students, websites like Kahoot that are considered classroom response systems offer a way for educators to use game-based learning to create formative assessments. Students race against a clock to answer questions and gain points for their answers. This allows educators a quick overview of comprehension on a topic in a setting that students enjoy. It would be difficult to find a student these days who doesn't play video games. Companies have realized that there's a niche in education for games. Minecraft has a low-cost education edition with over 600 pre-built, standards-aligned lessons to engage students across STEAM curriculum in order to drive meaningful learning, prepare for a digital future, and build social, emotional, and digital citizenship skills. One of the best aspects of game-based learning is its ability to bring students together. Whether the students are collaborating as part of a team to achieve a goal or engaging in healthy competition, game-based learning can be a building block for creating strong relationships, and the cooperative nature will help the students learn people skills that will benefit them throughout life. Game-based learning can also tap into those higher levels of Bloom's taxonomy that are sometimes difficult to reach, like problem solving, investigating, and creating. Playing a role-playing game like Dungeons & Dragons in an English class will put students up against all sorts of problems that they'll have to overcome spontaneously and sometimes via the least obvious path. To recap, game-based learning and gamification are similar but different strategies. Game-based learning refers to the act of playing a game to learn. Gamification refers to using strategies of gaming in traditional learning. Both gamification and game-based learning can be employed through digital or virtual means or via old-fashioned board games and pen and paper. The use of game-based learning and gamification is rapidly increasing in education and corporate training environments because of its intrinsic ability to motivate learners, engage learners in critical thinking, and its penchant to involve memorable, meaning-making activities that cause the learner to retain information more readily. Game on!